No. How on earth does that help?
I don't know. I just felt like bragging.
What's amazing is that we've come back on air just as the event goes on break. So, again, apologies for the technical issues beyond our control that meant we were off air for a few minutes. But we are back with coverage of this week's Sunday Million, a $215 PKO with 21 players remaining from the 8,906 who started, competing for a slice of the $1.78 million prize pool. A 5-minute hiatus and the action will resume. So this is where Felix actually gets his extended break now. So Felix, take as much time as you need in the toilet this time. No rush to come back. Joe and I have got it. Joe and I are going to hold the fort down. And Joe, I believe, for people who've been following your antics, people who've been following your escapades with sports trading cards, you have a little treat for us.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really a treat mostly for me, but this always calms me down now when I'm feeling stressed out opening cards. This is a box of 2019. I went older. This is a Panini XR. And this is a box of cards that, I shouldn't even say this, it's $200 for this box of cards, and there's two packs in it. 2 packs of 7. So I don't know what that costs per card. But
that's 14 cards for $200.
Yeah.
I just threw up in my mouth.
So we open this up here. I should probably be a little more careful with this. They at least make it look cool for you, right?
For $200, I should bloody hope so.
So the thing you got to do with these, James, is you got to really draw it out.
Okay.
So we may only get to open one pack of cards.
That's fine. Chances are there's going to be another break in an hour's time. So by all means, save the second pack for the next break.
So there's 2 autographs and 1 memorabilia card per box on average. So you're kind of guaranteed, not guaranteed, but close enough to get something good here. So we're going to open this one here, and I will... Typically, the people who do this, they use 2 cameras. So there's one on you and then one on the one on the cards. But I'm going to try to hold them up.
The way this stream is going, let's not ask for miracles, okay?
All right, so here, first card off the deck, Antonio Brown. I'm going to hold him.
He played last night, right?
He did. Marcus Mariota. These first couple cards are generally going to be nothing.
This is like opening my virtual pack in Madden Ultimate Team. Should I add them to my lineup?
We got a backwards card here, and it's a Kansas City Chief. Now, backwards card typically means an autograph.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This could be huge. Even though Patrick Mahomes did not win last night.
No. He's going to have it. The Chiefs still won the Super Bowl last year, and they have a lot of stars on their team. So let's see. A backwards card. Who is it? What is it?
Here we go. We're pulling it down. Got a backwards card. It is not Patrick Mahomes. It is Chris Jones.
Okay.
Even last night.
But it's got his signature on it, right?
It is not an autograph card. It's a 51 of 99, so that's good. That means our autograph is still live.
Okay.
Our autograph is still live. That's it. That's a more rare card, but not a very good player, so probably not worth a whole lot. Next up, we have Jace Sternberger. Okay, this next card is upside down and backwards.
What does that mean?
It means that the card's been inserted into the pack.
Okay, I see.
This Jace Sternberger is 165 out of 199. Not signed, though.
Okay.
But still limited print. Those are good.
Was that the upside down one?
No, this was the upside down one. Jelani Tavai, and that is our autograph.
Okay.
For the Detroit Lions. It's 10 of 49. I don't think it's a rookie card. Maybe if he goes on to have a great year, great career, that'll be worth something. But so far, not super exciting. Now we've got here we got a what's known as a memorabilia card. This is Marquise Brown, Lamar Jackson, Justice Hill with a piece of each of their
that's nice.
Uniforms in it.
Is that
and final card? These are typically not worth that much, but this is a 46 of 99, so unlikely it's worth a whole lot. And here we have a Miles Sanders rookie card. Don't know much about this guy, but again, these rookie cards. Oh, the Jay Sternberger is a rookie card too. So what we do is we sleeve these up, stick them in a top loader, and then see what happens in the career. And if I assume that's pretty close to our five-minute break, and we'll open the next pack on the next break.
Okay, so at the moment, we're still kind of waiting for the biggie, right? We still don't really feel that it's delivered on its $200 value.
Well, someone says here, Renee Schock says a $200 rookie card. So it looks like we may be breaking even on that box.
Okay. So coming back from break, guys, with 20 players remaining now, playing down to a winner tonight. Playing not just for the sums that you see advertised on screen, that's what the top 9 will earn, but also remember this is a progressive knockout format. There are bounties involved, so every player worth the sum you see advertised on screen next to the targets by their names. And we've come back to the table of Smart Aces guy, the one-time chip leader, who is now 7th on the leaderboard. Not even table chip leader here. Kamikaze is the biggest stack and is 2nd overall. Edison82 is currently chip daddy. Edison with 12.5 million.
He's electric.
See what you did there.
I do have to quietly sleeve these up while we're doing this, though, because I don't want them to get wrecked.
When you say sleeve these up, have you bought some, like, do they, please tell me they come with the box. You don't have to buy those
no,
separately.
they don't come with this.
Right, so in addition to spending $200 on 2 packs of cards, you then have to spend extra on the accessories to contain the cards.
Correct. And to store them.
It was a lot cheaper back in the day when you spend £1 on the Panini album and the packs of cards were like 15p each.
Yes, it was. And I'm sure those cards, a lot of them would be worth quite a bit these days. If you manage to hold on to them.
Yeah.
Trying to do this without wrecking it. What do we got going on here poker-wise? Queen Jack suited.
Yeah, that's
everyone's
the big
favorite hand. Everyone's favorite hand, Queen Jack suited.
Is it? Well, Queen Jack has gone to the flop here, Joe, against 9-8 and Queen 5. Crucially, it is Queen Jack of clubs, and there are 2 clubs on board.
Well, this is going to be just like that pack of cards. All exciting at the beginning, nothing by the end.
Hey, gut shot now on the turn, and 7 on the river. But can I just point out that Queen Jack high is the best hand.
Oh, wow. Is Kamikaze going to live up to their name and let... Yeah, okay. You can't really be a Kamikaze if you let Queen Jack high show down there.
And that is the elimination of 1 EP3. Bounty claimed by Smart Aces, guys, back up to nearly 7 million. Back up in the top 5 with 19 players remaining. So, what's the strategy when you're buying these cards? Do you, how do you know, for example, that you're getting packs from 2019? Do you have to go to a specialist retailer? I'm assuming you don't just walk down to your local store and buy some cards.
Yeah, well, there is a local store by me. There's a sports card store, like a 5-minute walk from here. And I went in and I said, hey, man, what's going on with all the football cards this year? He said, they're blowing up. If you want to buy a box of cards that normally runs like $250, it's $700 now. And I said, well, what do you got from last year? Because there's still some things like Mahomes autographs that are still out there floating around from last year's cards. And those cards are also inflated, but not quite as bad as this year. And it'll be less likely, in my opinion, that they'll print more cards from last year as opposed to this year's cards that they can just keep on printing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, give me some cards from last year. And I bought 2 boxes. And the first one, I admit, I was a dud, a total dud, like real bad. But this one seems okay so far. You know, you're looking for rookie cards, and you got to hold on to them and see how their careers turn out. for example, Patrick Mahomes, he was a nobody his first year in the league. His rookie card is so rare because they barely made any.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A pair of sixes good enough, does not get to the river. And I had someone who knows what they're talking about, James, hop on a stream with me recently, just him and I showed him all the cards I've been opening, and he's like, that's a $1,000 card, you need to have that rated. That's a $400 card, you need to have that rated. I run spectacularly hot at everything but poker. Everything but poker.
Well, this could get messy. Ace 10 opens. Pocket fives get out the way. Ace king flats.
I mean, ace king suited is flatting, I think, hoping for a squeeze.
Well, you're going to get
from
it,
Draboba.
but it is a squeeze from a premium hand.
A lot of folks are going to flat with their suited hands more often than the offsuit ones. And ace 10 folds.
Need to fade
Spade on
the
the flop.
ace, and does. Improves to a full house on the river. Andrew Boba doubles up through Kamikaze. So according to Red Pixel, a Patrick Mahomes 2017 rookie card sold for a record $861,000.
That's correct. I think that was an autograph card, but
It's absurd.
but yes, that did happen recently. So the base Patrick Mahomes rookie card, right? The most common version of it is around $1,500.
That's obscene.
So if you can find a box of football cards from 2017 and you get it from a place where maybe the prices aren't jacked up that much, that's a good buy.
Jack 9 is the best hand, still the best hand. ET near enough a 9-1 favorite on the turn.
Got to take issue with Shikes here. Says, you saw the way he played yesterday. He's not worth that much. I think Patrick Mahomes was incredibly impressive yesterday. This dude throws while he's falling down, while he's horizontal. He's like throwing. I think he didn't have a whole lot of support. And he was, absolutely manhandled by the Buccaneers, but he is a lot of talent.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Roxer, he throws lasers. He didn't have a whole lot of help from his offensive line, I'll say that.
Well, his offensive line was beaten up and they were on second string players, right?
Oh, and his toe was falling off. Let's not forget that. I know you only watched the first quarter, James, but by the end of the game, he's limping on every play. Parallel to the ground and hit his man in the helmet. That's right, whoever you are. All right, shaping up for a pretty sick flip here. Tiltless. We know tiltless. We've been tiltless for a while.
Yep. A high stakes reg has 10 seconds left to make a decision. Calls, and what a flop for Sanka. Aces and queens.
Did you guys ever have Sanka in the UK?
What?
It was like a decaf coffee brand.
We might have done, not on my radar.
Got it. I don't think you did. It would have been way too crappy for Europe. Well, the 10 gives Tiltless a little bit of life. Excuse me, the king gives the 10s a little bit of life. Don't think we'll get to the river there. Nope. Man, the blinds are huge. Look at this, 80,000, 160,000.
Yeah, and right now Sanka is second in chips, table chip leader here with 8.2 million. Sanka playing from the UK, Edison 82 from Brazil over at one of the other two tables, and we are one player away from being down to the final two tables. Edison playing from Brazil has 11.6 million. Tiltless is the shortest stack right now with 1.6 million.
Two-piece asks, will people in Michigan ever be able to play in this tourney? Unfortunately, this tourney will be over in a few hours. So I don't think they will ever be able to play in it. Thank you for your question.
The more sincere and genuine answer is, I don't know. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Step one, let's try and get people in Michigan able to play against people in other states in the US, right? Is to try and form some kind of player pool. And bear in mind, that is not on the operators. That is on the regulators. That's on the states to work together to make that happen. And then the next stage from that is if you do have a compact of US states where online poker is legal and where they're sharing liquidity, imagine then joining the global liquidity player pool. But I think we're talking years, not months here.
9 Hertz is right. Write letters to your legislators. Also consider a career in legislation. If there's anything the last few years have taught us is that pretty much anyone can get elected. Cannot be drawing much thinner than that on the flop and dead on the turn.
Yeah. It would be a kamikaze play to put any chips in the pot now. Gets a call from ace-8 there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, ace high is going to be good a fair amount of the time. Especially with the paired board, but I think now it's calling again would be pretty optimistic. Like your opponent can check back a whole lot of things that you're beating here. Now that is nearly a full pot.
Wow, gets called. And we are going to check in on the chip leader, Edison 82. This is Edison's table. You can see that stack of 12.5 million. Meanwhile, it's start of day chip leader, Bendelli from Finland, who has 61K in winnings on PokerStars, up against Nick, the bounty hunter. And as the table fills out, you know what that means. We're down to 18. Down to the final two tables, ladies and gentlemen.
Final two. Here we go. And the prize money starts to get real juicy. From about 13 onward.
So this is blind v blind. Bendelli with ace-queen. Retry it with 10-5. All in.
Retry still alive. Okay. Retry was super short over an hour ago. Doubled up twice, but never really had many more chips than they've got right now. 10 big blinds. Well, this seems fairly obvious with 10 big blinds. Just about moves all in.
We're still
Hi,
alive,
buddy.
Joe. We're still alive.
We're still alive. We're back. Glad to hear it. Saved, as they say. You guys should have seen that hand. We're down to the final table. It's crazy. It's a 9-way all in on one table and then a 1-way all in on the other.
It is, as young people would say, cray-cray.
Pocket kings for dry impact. Nick with the ace-10 suited, ace-queen suited for the limpet. Oh, wow. Ace-10 just jams. Ace-queen maybe can get away from this? Yeah? I think so, right? Which Death Star is that?
Is that a Death Star?
I don't think so. Not getting away.
Looks more like Dr. Ball, MD. We have got
Diamonds.
Kings
Diamonds are
cold.
forever.
And no eliminations there.
Nice. You love this. You gotta love to say the best hand win, right? Well, how often does that happen? And retry with another chance to double up. Strong double up opportunity. Maybe this shoved too much for Rez David to call with King 10. Bounty is worth $1,600. It's $1,000 to ladder up one more spot. Edison with the sixes. That's a possibility too. No. Oh, I don't know about making this call, Rick. Rez David with a much better hand now in the big blind.
What are you chuckling at now?
Original Muffin asks, didn't aces get cracked 3 times in the main event final table last series? Sure. I don't know. Could have been more.
%20 of the time, it happens every time.
Oh my goodness, what is this? Look at Addison getting out of line here.
So this is a money jump, right? Worth $1,000?
Yep.
Oh, Edison finds himself priced in.
Oh, please hold.
Hearts?
Oh, no.
No, it's all right. Rez David gets the double up, and Edison takes a bit of a hit and no longer has the chip lead. It is Silskire who's now the biggest stack at the other table right now with 10.7 million.
Just told Steve, asked Stapes, how soon are you allowed to sing again after your surgery? James, did you ever see the movie? You probably didn't because it was a baseball movie called Rookie of the Year.
No.
So it's a kid's baseball movie where a kid breaks his arm and the tendons grow back too tight, and now he can throw a baseball like 120 miles an hour at like 11, and he goes in the major leagues.
Okay.
I'm always wondering like what'll happen if I have this surgery and somehow like something goes wrong where I just become the greatest singer in the world.
Or you come back and suddenly you've kind of gone up several octaves and suddenly you can become, you sound like a choir boy.
Yeah. I just like, and it's just like I can do things, or I become like the Michael Winslow, and I can just do any impression that I want.
Oh,
sorry guys, I have to live in my helicopter.
Meanwhile, SK Tiltless has just been eliminated from the other table, so we're down to 17 now. We have made that money jump. Everyone is locked up. At least $3,400 in prize money, in addition to any bounties claimed. Remember, the Sunday Million is a progressive knockout this week.
Me and Francine can do Adele duets.
Has Adele ever done a duet?
Not that I can think of.
Probably a poor choice then. Disney. Just look at the Disney archive. So many duets.
Just belt out, set fire to the rain.
So one of my favorite Disney movies of recent years, which celebrated its 10th anniversary last year, is Tangled, which has a beautiful song. Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi singing that one.
Oh, really? That's cool. Never saw that one.
It's really good. It's a really good film. Written by Dan Fogelman, who also wrote Bolt and wrote Crazy Stupid Love. And on the subject of Dan Fogelman and Mandy Moore, and I know I'm 5 years behind the curve, I've just started watching This Is Us, and it is a delight.
Ah. Our former Poker in the Years podcast guest, Josh Molina, is in an episode.
Is he?
Yes.
I'll look out for him. Bear in mind, there's like nearly 100 episodes. I'm only like 7 episodes in.
Yeah.
But the whole thing's on Amazon Prime, so it's like, that's my next binge mission.
Okay, what's going on with Poker Dave?
Dave. Mate, Dave's in a poker tournament. We're sitting out.
He probably.
Yeah, give Dave a call.
If it's the Poker Dave I'm thinking of, he's like outside having a cigarette.
It's like 5-minute breaks once an hour aren't enough.
Yeah. Had to go down to the shop to get some skins.
Either that or Dave's got the same broadband provider as me. Ace-3 versus 10-9.
Oh, boy.
7, 8, 9, 10 jack. And that is a double up for the Limpet. They're clinging on.
Is that a...
Limpet. Clinging on like a limpet? No?
I don't know what a limpet is. Rocks are like that, though.
Not heard of a limpet mine?
What is a limpet? No, I don't know. I've heard of the incredible Mr. Limpet.
Now you've lost me.
That's an old Disney cartoon, I think.
Oh.
Disney movie.
Bendelli opening here with Ace-Jack. El Canvas folds the 10-6. Blinds up, Joe. 100,000, 200,000 with a 20K ante. The price of poker has been raised, Vincent.
Just, you know, not Disney. It's Don Knotts turns into a fish. It's one of those live-action animated mashups from the 60s. Oh, I'm a fish now. I'm blind.
Bingo, says James. What was that show on Prime you just mentioned? This Is Us, which I believe is on NBC in the States. Ace, queen against eights. We're off to the races. Ace high flop. And that is going to be a double up for Nick through dry impact.
Dry impact sounds like the worst thing you can do in the diving competition at the Olympics. It's a 0.0.
He's taking part in a 20-meter dry impact event. You only get one jump. You literally only get one jump. I'm afraid that fall was really bad. It's far too messy. There's a lot to clean up.
Dry impact, wet cleanup. Bye, Armand.
What happened to Armand?
He said, Joe, thank you for your commentary. Have a nice day.
Oh, bye. I feel weird watching this to play down to 17. It's like, are you not invested now? Do you not feel that you need to follow it through to its conclusion?
Maybe he's out of roaming minutes.
Ooh.
Pocket tens for Nick. Rez David with a open from under the gun with ace-9 suited. This is one of those spots where you're like, I'll open under the gun with this, even though I probably shouldn't. But if I get re-raised, I'll fold. But then when you have to re-raise, you're like, still a diamonds.
That was a little bit Bobcat Goldthwait just now. Let's hope that's not what you sound like after tomorrow.
Let's not. Yeah, there's definitely a range that I don't want to end up.
I was going to say, there's you going, oh, maybe I'll have a beautiful singing voice, or maybe you'll sound like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just take the voice I came in with. Thanks.
Yeah. What if they're able to restore you to Joe Stapleton from the big game? Like, 19-year-old Joe.
Oh, boy. Hold on a second here.
That is the elimination of the limpet. The mine explodes and is KO'd in 17th place as Edison 82 moves back up above the 10 million mark. 11 million for Edison now.
Eddie.
But Edison's still in the number 2 spot, Joe. Silskaya still chip leader.
Pretty fun hand for a dry impact, but third best. You gotta like the pot odds though for 200K more. 6-1 on your money. It's the reverse implied odds in cases like this. If you hit a king, you are in big, big trouble.
Ooh, okay. We've got king, pair of kings with a 10 kicker, pair of kings with a queen kicker, pair of jacks with an ace kicker. Little piece for everyone, but Bendelli favorite here.
Snap call from the ace jack, and man, you got the devil and the angel on your shoulder here. You're like, I really shouldn't be overcalling here. Like, I'm probably never have the best hand.
Yeah.
But also, there's so many draws and good turn cards for me.
Okay, we got straight draws. We got 2 pair. It's all happening.
Bendelli has to know this is a really bad card, though. When you get called in 2 spots, you're either already losing or definitely losing now. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about him when I see this ace peel, but Queen 10 got there. All the aces got there. You could be up against King Jack. I don't really know. Like the only hand it's not bad for is king 10, and that hand just folded. And Nick with less than pot behind. Bendelli too, for that matter. Only about 2/3 pot. Bendelli finally checks, gets a free showdown, but is not going to like what direction the chips get pushed in.
Decent pot for Nick, who's up to 8.37 million. Meanwhile, an elimination from the other table. Smart Aces guy, one-time chip leader. The Canadian gone in 16th place. And Poker Dave 476, who's at our feature table right now, is the low man and is at risk, all in with ace 10. This is going to get called.
That's a huge bounty. Gotta call it.
Ace high holding. And ace on the river. Barry Greenstein gives Dave the double up.
See, Dave wasn't worried about it.
Dave just needs to get into a situation where he can sit out again and go for another fac.
Dave's playing the fruities at the same time.
I'm pretty sure.
Let me know if I have a hand.
Pretty sure that Dave's at home like the rest of us.
Oh, that's right. There's no pubs open.
Oh, hello. Dave now with a big slick. And Joe, are you set for the sickest and classicest of all races as Nick opens with queens?
Like pubs versus taverns.
All in. Retry can get away from sixes. Nick calls with queens. Ace high flop. And no case queen on the river. Another double up for Dave, who's now got nearly 9 million. Dave's gone from bottom of the leaderboard to 4th in chips.
These are the Daves I know.
Meanwhile, update from the other table where it's all kicking off. ET got it all in with ace-queen against Wattam Sankar's ace-king. Ace-queen did not improve, and that is going to take us down to 14 players. 2 tables of 7, which means we're going to lose someone here. Then they'll need to go to the other table so we can be balanced.
Would you say ET phoned home?
Very good, Joe. More like ET's in that white box, only this time he ain't coming back.
That flower is not.
Nope. Shove the flower in the compost. It's over. If this were a rebuy, if we were still in the re-entry phase, absolutely. ET could make that comeback and we could all be happy again. Before he gets in the spaceship and we all start crying again.
Try impact the old big slick energy.
I have to say, I am impressed that we're seeing Dry Impact make the last 2 tables of this event 2 weeks in a row. Dry Impact was 13th in last week's 50-50 series special edition of the Sunday Million.
Very solid.
I mean, you go that deep in these massive fields 2 weeks in a row. You're clearly doing something right. And it can't all just be running golden.
You do have to give a little bit of credit. As jaded as I like to be about how you run deep in these things. I mean, this has got, compared to last weekend's field, this has got to feel like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
There was only 8,000 runners this week.
And here we go. It's Nick all in with ace-jack against king-queen, king-high flop.
Yikes.
And that will be the elimination of Nick, KO'd by Rez David. And we're going to go across to the other table.
Kind of fitting that Nick died a death of 1,000 cuts.
So you can see, Joe, from the stacks here that Wattam Sankar has taken the chip lead with a stack of 15 million.
Sure has. Jeepers.
And we have an all-in here from Silskaya. And Bendelli calls all in with ace-7. Ace-high holding. Ace-high is good. In fact, it's a 7 on the river. And Bendelli doubles up to nearly 5.2 million.
So not a lot of post-flop poker being played, and I wonder how long that's going to last for. It doesn't seem like it's going to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, so what's the average stack right now? 6.8 million. So what's that? 34 big blind average. But I agree. We're also just seeing, from the hands being dealt, these inevitable confrontations. I mean, I know we're dealing with a relatively small sample size, Joe, because we only started streaming these Sunday Million Day 2s at the tail end of 2020. But they're swingy at the best of times. When you add the bounty element, when you make it a PKO format, you're just asking for just pre-flop clash after pre-flop clash. Especially as it plays relatively shallow compared to some of the bigger buy-in events that we cover. Well, Bendelli flops top pair here. I know people love the stories of the qualifiers, people who are in events for significantly less than the advertised buy-in. Well, Bendelli, who, as I referenced earlier on the stream, has $61,000 in PokerStars earnings, satellited into this event for just $11. Bendelli's best single result to date was last year in a $55 bounty builder. Took it down for nearly $13,000. Look at the sums up for grabs at the final table of these events. Bendelli could be set for their best ever score tonight.
Hell yeah. And it's going to add some chips here, it would appear, barring any sort of disgusting suck out.
Wattam Sanka could hit running hearts, could hit a 4 for 2 pair. This is assuming Bendelli makes the call here. I think they probably will. Sure enough, the fin is in and King 9 holds, and that is a double up for Bendelli, up to 10.7 million. So Bendelli, who started the day as chip leader with 112 players remaining, is now second in chips with 13 remaining.
Bendelli getting a little of that Hardigan boost. Ears must have been burning.
Normally it's the commentator's curse. Normally when we big up a player or start talking about their results and giving them any kind of attention at all, it means that they're out the next hand.
Yeah, like Sam Grafton.
Oh, Sam.
Poor Sam.
125, 250, the blinds.
Yeah, we're not going to start playing post-flop anytime soon.
Just when you think, okay, there's been some consolidation. Oh no, now everyone's shallow again. It's fast and furious in the ready money round, and there is no bell. Say what you see. What's Mr. Chips doing? $10-9 suited the Grafton. Hattie 009 raises. Falzika with ace-6 of hearts. just Sil Sky left to act in the big blind with King Deuce.
Speaking of Sam Grafton, I guess we can speak of him positively with the 10-9 suited. His legacy.
Sanka opening here with 10s. Kamikaze relatively short with ace-jack suited. Rips. Driboba even shorter with king-queen suited. Calls all in, and Sanka going for double bounties here.
You got to do it. That's not a very big bounty, though, the 447. The 2,600's worth it, though.
Absolutely, and 10s are ahead right now. Not anymore.
There's a jack.
And that is going to be a huge pot for Kamikaze and the elimination of Driboba as we come back to the other table. A reminder that we are down to 2 tables now, 2 tables of 6. And we have Edison at this table, who I can confirm is chip leader. In fact, looking at the leaderboard right now, Joe, that Brazilian flag, 1, 2, and 3 on the leaderboard. Edison 82, wow. Kamikaze, Falzica, 3 Brazilian players. The only 3 Brazilian players left are the 3 chip leaders with 12 remaining. As Dry Impact shoves on Poker Dave here. 10-9 suited. The Grafton gets called by Queen 10. And this is going to be a win for Poker Dave and the elimination of Dry Impact. And again, let's salute the fact that Dry Impact, last week's 13th place finisher, makes another deep run in the Sunday Million. How hard is it to make the final 2 tables of these ridiculously massive fields? And Dry Impact improves. 13th last week, 12th this week. We're down to 11 now.
I hope they're happy. I mean, you could be pretty frustrated, I think, having come so close in back-to-back weeks like that. But, man, that's certainly something to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, an achievement, but also frustrating because you're so close yet so far. You've outlasted thousands of players last week, tens of thousands of players, and yet you're still falling short of the really massive sums of money up top.
The good money, yeah.
Yeah.
Poker Dave free rolling here. Hopefully we see this go check.
And that was a chop pot, Joe, and you know what they say?
Everyone loves a chop pot.
You don't need any improvement to your vocal performance. You're already there.
It's almost like we've been doing this for a while. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, and 10s hold, and El Canvas is KO'd by the chip leader. Edison 82 up to 17.8 million. Joe, 2 tables of 5. This is now hand-for-hand action. We are on the final table bubble in this special progressive knockout edition of the Sunday Million.
And based on the stacks at this table, I wouldn't expect a ton of post-flop play still.
So one player is going to get moved from the other table. It's Watam Sanka, former chip leader. So Edison 82, number 1 in chips, and the bounty boss, worth $5,113. But of course, that bounty not in play right now. Second biggest stack is Falzica.
I feel like everyone at this point is the former chip leader.
Does feel that way, right? Ace 5. Solskjaer raises. Falzika with Jack 7 suited. Just established that Falzika is second in chips right now. Wow. 3 bets. Gets rid of the King Jack. And might get rid of Sourdough as well here.
Yeah. It's not worth messing around with at this point, especially of the non-artisanal variety.
Back to the chip leaders table. Retry in the small blind. Jack 7 suited. Edison with ace 3. Five seconds left to make a decision. The decision is to move all in. Gets called by ace 3. Spades on the flop. Spade on the turn. The flush. Retry. When the crowd says bow, selector. Doubles up through the chip leader.
Retry has retried that stack over and over again. Continues doubling up. $17 big blinds now. Limps in with King 10. Interesting strategy, limping in. Nobody manages to catch anything on this flop. Retry. Still has the best hand. Does anybody want to get weird? Nope.
No one is getting weird. Over to the other table where there's still a hand in progress. Oh, it has concluded. Well, let's see what happens next. We've got Falzika with ace 4 of diamonds. Back to the other table.
These guys. 4s for the retry. Doesn't want to go for it. 5-handed. I don't know. I kind of feel like you do have to go for it there with the 4s, but $1,600 bounty.
Pair of 3s against a pair of queens here, Joe.
Uh-oh. And the queen's check.
So we've got, what is it, 6 minutes until the next break. Not sure if we'll still be hand for hand by the time we hit the break or whether we'll have reached the final table. Either way, Joe's got another packet of cards to open.
I do. But I got to grab some sleeves real quick.
I love the fact that you're just paranoid that what happens if you open a pack on stream and there is something really valuable in there and you don't have anything to put it in.
I just don't trust myself. You know what a klutz I am.
I mean...
You know how many you'll never believe what happened stories I have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to get your sports trading cards greasy. Or worse.
I know where they are. They're behind this thing.
Well, you're just going to have to... Have you not got any, like, kind of like... anything else you can put them in? Like a box? An envelope, a plastic divider.
They're in a pile right now, which should be fine. I'll look up some of these from the last time.
Tom asks, am I going to start buying these packs and trading with Joe? Nope.
Thank you for your question. Bye, John. Talk to you soon.
I'm not sure if you were actually talking to someone in your house there or if that was a comment directed at someone in the audience.
John Delano.
Okay. It was unclear. Especially as you were kind of like looking off to the...
Yeah, no, I know. It's not no one's fault.
6-4 against a pair of fours, and Bendelli still good here with the small pocket pair. And Falzica bluffs the river, 1.25 million. Any hero call from Bendelli? We've seen some mistaken hero calls today. Would love to see an epic hero call that's correct. Queen deuce button raise from Falzica. Bendelli with king 5 in the small. Folds. Kamikaze with 10-6 folds. Meanwhile back at Edison's table, the chip leader's table. Ace Queen versus eights, and look at this. Poker Dave flops a set. Deuce is also involved here, the chip leader in this pot.
Poker Dave running hot right now. Hasn't missed a flop in a while.
And deuces get out of the way, and Res David drawing dead on the turn. Set of eights guaranteed to win this pot. Res checking the turn. Dave checks it back.
I just hate this running hearts if I have the set of eights.
Yeah, but you're not folding.
No.
And no bluff from Res David on the river. And is Dave...
Here you bet a third of a pot just to get like a call from like a pair of kings, and then you get raised, and you're like, oh no. This is more than half pot though, so probably better.
Got the fold. Kamikaze raising. Small to big. Queen 8 against Jack 3. Oh, look at that. A re-raise. And a fold.
Pair of sixes. Backdoor hearts.
Thank God you're here.
And that belly buster, but Poker Dave kind of in the way.
Oh, Dave. Pair of 6 is still good. Res David has picked up a pair of 5s on the turn. A bet of $500,000 from Edison.
Raksha says she's waiting for another food stream. That's the goal, is that once my voice gets fixed, you guys have no idea, honestly, how exhausting it is to speak. It is, like, when I have an hour break from these streams, I can't even really stand.
Oh.
So.
Sorry to interrupt that chain of thought, Joe, but I've just seen
that's all right.
this setup here.
This is big. This is big.
And Sil Skyer shoves with ace king. Hattie 009 calling all in with aces. Falzica gets out of the way.
Bounty.
And aces hold, and that is a double up for Hattie 009 on the last hand before the break. So we have hit a 5-minute hiatus in the action. With 10 players remaining, we are hand for hand on the final table bubble of this week's Sunday Million. It is a PKO event, 100K for second and first, in addition to bounties. Edison 82 from Brazil, the current chip leader, with 14.9 million. Let's get Felix Schneider's back into the mix and set the scene as Joe prepares to open his second pack of cards. So Felix, I don't know if you heard the setup to this, but Joe, during lockdown, has got into sports trading cards and has been doing these stream box breaks where they open these cards on stream and you see if you've got anything valuable. So we're going to sweat as Joe opens this pack and we see if he's got anything that's worth a few quid.
Pack of cards just fell out and hit the ground right on the corner. Not good. Not good. Yeah, so by the way, I know that it's not as much of a thrill for anyone else as it is for me, but I bought these cards like over almost a week ago, and it is incredibly difficult for me to wait this long to open them. But I did it for you fine folks, for some break can't get it open now. For some break content.
Felix, just double check you're not muted because I don't want you to miss out on any of this awesomeness. Yeah. There we go. He's there.
Basically, well, no, if I pull a card that Felix has heard of, then we're in good shape. So this was a 2-pack box of cards. 2 packs.
I've heard of him.
For $200. 7 cards in each pack. There should be an autograph and a memorabilia card in each pack. Here we go.
Here we go.
First card. All right, we got J.J. Watt.
Okay, he's a good player.
I did drop it right on the corner. Gosh dang it. Luckily, I don't
mint anymore.
Did you seriously
Next card up.
Rip it when you opened it?
I didn't rip it. No, when I dropped it, when you were doing the intro, it landed right on the corner. So, like, this corner's banged up. If there's a really valuable card in here, the corners are, like, most expensive. Like, the worst thing to ding on them. So, remember how I said I didn't trust myself?
Yep.
Remember?
I don't trust you either.
Derwin James with a dinged up corner.
Okay. I love the fact that you're now actually an expert on the condition of the cards as well. We're getting
here's our first backwards card.
Okay, so the backwards card means it's like probably signed, right?
It could be an autograph card. If this is autographed, this would be dope. Except the corner's real messed up. This is a Phil Rivers card.
Yeah, he's kind of
Is
past
it
his
autographed?
prime.
Not autographed. 82 of 249.
I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea what the value is. I'm just not particularly excited about Philip Rivers.
Every single card got dinged in the corner. Unbelievable. We've got Sean Murphy Bunting, rookie card. That's a Buccaneer. I don't know if he's still on the team or not. Could be worth something if the corner wasn't all messed up.
As far as Felix is concerned, you could be making up these names. None of these people are on his radar.
Here is our... Okay, we got an autograph patch rookie card from the Ravens. Marquise Brown.
Yeah?
And autograph patches are often pretty good. I don't know if he's a good player or not. Doesn't look like the corner got hit too hard on this
Marquise Brown. That's a good player to have.
Okay, this could be something then. And we've got an Odell Beckham Jr. X Factor card of 149.
Is that Cleveland Browns Odell Beckham Jr.?
Yes.
I mean, how can anyone in a Cleveland Browns uniform be worth anything?
And a Christian Wilkins rookie card for the Dolphins. So let's see about this.
Are they all foil? Are they like foil cards?
Marquise Brown. Let's see what this is worth. Marquise Brown auto patch.
So just to be clear, that wasn't autographed, the Marquise Brown one, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Oh, well, that should be. Surely that's got to be worth something, Joe.
I'm not seeing any of this. Oh, yeah, I am. This looks like it's selling on eBay for about $35.
Ah.
So,
could it
not
be
super hot,
that
not
the
super cool.
eBay seller doesn't know its actual value, or no, it just means it's actually...
Typically, they're pretty good on eBay.
Okay.
Here's another one selling for $89.99.
Okay. Well, the good news is, for those of you not interested in the value of Joe's cards, the action has restarted.
It's over.
On the final table bubble of this week's Sunday Million. I will hand things over to Mr. Schneiders and Mr. Stapleton.
Hello, my babies. Here we go. Final table bubble, hand for hand, H for H.
This is exciting. And as I heard when I came back, there is no postball play, right? Even more exciting.
Very little post-flop play, although we have gone to the turn here.
Wow. So we have a pair and a gut shot and a gut shot. And the gut shot is going to try to bluff the pair and the gut shot, which is not going to work out because the pair is probably going to call. Are those cards are they all foils? Like they all like shiny?
Yes, this particular is like a high-end pack of cards, which is part of the reason they're so expensive. They start off
Right.
a little bit more expensive.
I used to play Magic a lot, so I have like these Magic display boxes where there have like just one foil card in each booster pack. Those are worth a little bit more than the others.
Yeah, so basically that's what this is, only this is a whole pack of foil cards.
Oh, okay. Got
Which is
it.
why they're about $80 a pack.
So we see a min raise from the button from Hattie. Hattie gets the blinds.
Can't
This is
believe I
gonna be
messed
a-
all these corners up.
Oh. Fauzika still in the mix. Open raises the 6-4 off because why not? He has the button and he covers both players in the blinds. And he can put on some final table bubble pressure. But kamikaze goes kamikaze. Nice 3-bet. Oh.
Here we go. Pocket queens for Hattie. Fauzika with eights. Nom nom. Snowman.
He just flats. It's a good flat considering that Hattie doesn't have a big bounty and Hattie shouldn't be opening too wide given that he's covered by 3 stacks.
And wham, bam, thank you, ma'ams. Set of queens on this flop.
Wow. Well, he's
And
not going to get
ace.
much.
Yeah, can safely not lose any sleep over folding.
Yep.
Fauzika folds. Kamikaze likely doing the same here. No. Decides the button open with the jack tray. Silskire and
It
Hattie
worked.
also fold. Yeah, button steal. As we switch over to the other table. Just 2 tables left. One really. It's like 1.1 tables remain.
Yeah.
Ace high good on this flop.
Wondering if he's going to go ahead and c-bet this board. No, he's checking back. And it's the ace. See if Poker Dave falls for the trap and starts the bluff. Nope.
Poker Dave checks. Edison.
I think we'll
Top
see another
pair.
check. I would assume he's betting. Okay.
That's a third pot. And gets a quick fold. Sometimes, Felix, I fall into this trap where I know what they should do because I can see both hands.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, there's the all-in from Dave. Sanka must make the call with ace high. Dave with live cards misses the flop, misses the turn, hits the 7 on the river. The
It's
7
coming.
that is always coming. What Sanka. He
7.
will. Thank ya. He is out of here in 10th place. And we are down to the final table. Hand still in progress at the other table. I don't think there's much of a chance we're going to lose another player.
7's in the chat, guys. The 7 is coming again.
Well, Jack on the river could be a little bit of trouble for Fauzika.
No value bet. Wow. Hattie doesn't Just bet the river, and there we go.
And here we go, kids. Final 9 players. Payouts are on the screen. That's just for your placement in the tournament. You can see everyone still has a bounty attached to their name. And at this point, those bounties are quite juicy in some spots. We got a 5K bounty as our top dog belonging to Edison. Gotti bringing up a good point. Only a $500, $600 bounty on Hattie 09. And
Ace-9 currently the best hand, but the board texture doesn't look too nice.
no, it sure doesn't. Will anyone have the cajones to bet at this? Well, they won't need cajones now. 3 jacks ain't bad.
But he doesn't dare to value bet them. Too scary. There's only one playable hand in the mix, which is Jack 10 suited. And Edison, the bounty boss, and the chip leader, is opening.
Seems like a good way
How
to
good.
steer clear.
Like, being bounty boss and having the biggest stack at the table. Nice position to be in.
Bryce asked in chat, did Poker Dave already win the Sunday Million once? Yes, he did. They did, we should say. No confirmation that Poker Dave is a dude. How many countries on table? Well, there's 3 bazillions. Did I say bazillions? I meant to say Brazilians. The Brazilians are winning bazillions, though, so it makes sense. 2 from the UK. So that's 2 countries. 1 from Hungary. 1 from Finland. 1 from Russia. And 1 from, I think that's Holland. What's red, white, and blue in that order?
Red, white, blue. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think it's the Netherlands.
Holland. Yeah. Netherlands. It's not France, I can promise you that. For some reason, the French never make the final table of the Sunday Million. It's crazy. We've got Kamikaze and Res David going to the turn, chopping this pot.
Most likely, unless somebody is going to bet at it, but given the board texture, this is probably going to go check, check.
Who's the person that said lol North American geography? I'm just getting your band. I got it right. I mean, you can't even make fun of me for that. I don't care for that.
So we got Fauzika with the King Jack, probably going to go for the open. Here we go. No action. Big blind is short stacked, so not sure if he wants to defend really. With 7-5.
Tempting to stop and go this.
Yeah.
No. Edison, the boss here at this table. Raising ace-5 suited. And
Getting everybody to fold.
that's right.
Oh.
Kamikaze. You can't spell kamikaze without 2 A's. Also 2 K's. And an I and an M. And a Z and an E.
And 4 sevens.
4 sevens.
No action on the aces again. I guess we gotta wait until we get to see some good pairs again that clash against each other. But I think at the final table, action is probably gonna be a little bit tighter. Seen before, being a little bit tighter. Edison just jams 6-7 offsuit, small blind versus big blind because he can, as the chip leader and the bounty boss.
Res David with ace queen.
So we basically
that gets
got
through also.
2 stacks.
Nobody getting 2 out of line yet. Nobody getting super brave as long as those short stacks are hanging around.
Yeah. I mean, the jump now is from 7K to 10K and then to 14K, so that's quite a bit. It's worth more than most of the bounties at the tables. And the biggest bounty right now is not even available for anybody to get.
Good point. Hattie with King Jack. And yeah, I mean, this is the move right now. If you're Edison, you really just want to be raising and re-raising. Nobody's going to want to tangle with you unless they've got it.
Yeah.
As long as Silskire and retry them are still in.
So beautiful to see how you get to really make the better hand fold, and the better hand can't really do much about it. And it's the correct play for the better hand even.
Is Edison from Brazil? Yes. Edison, Kamikaze, and Fozika all from Brazil.
Oh, let's see. What is Silskire going to do with the ace-2 suited? Tough decision because he also wants to stick around for one more pay jump, but he is the shortest stack. So he needs to do something as the blinds are coming around. He does have a decent hand.
Not like this.
And Edison is just waiting. Do it, do it, do it.
They're probably waiting to see if somebody goes broke on the other table. There's the all-in from ace deuce. Edison. God, do you ever just flat here?
Edison is just drooling all over his monitor.
Do you ever just flat here?
Probably. But it looks strong either way. I think even a small raise probably looks weaker than a flat. But he just flats. There we go. He needs to dodge an ace.
Skyer at risk, hits a deuce. Does not improve on the river. There goes Silskire. First player out at the final table. Cashes for 6,900 plus nearly $8,000 in bounties. So solid performance there. And Edison continues adding to both the chip and bounty lead.
Easy 4K, just like that.
And just like that, we got a lot of aces and queens out here.
Yep. And again, we see the power of the bigger stacks. Ace-2 suited pressuring the shorter stack. Now this is going to be interesting what Poker Dave is going to do. And Res David both have ace-queen. This is tricky. I mean, they cover both, so there's a decent chance that we might actually see a 4-bet shove here. At least from Poker Dave. Assuming that Kamikaze is 3-betting wide against the big bounty. No, he actually folds. Wow. Now Res Dave gets the chance.
Res Dave folds as well. Kamikaze living up to their name and getting better hands to fold.
Sick. And Fozika is probably going to have to fold as well. I mean, the price is good, but...
Wow.
Wow. Phew.
Fozika shows you who the real Kamikaze is. Kamikaze forced the fold to the pre-flop shove.
Turns around the ICM pressure. Getting both the best hands to fold. This is sick.
Could have a collision here. Res David raises ace, 8 of diamonds, flops an 8 and a diamond. Edison, the chip leader, defends a big line, misses.
Hits an 8. Takes the check back, adds a flush draw to his hand. That looks good.
Oh man, imagine the
3 of diamonds.
diamonds.
Oh,
yeah.
I like the check behind on this board. Now he gets to bet.
Res David trying to pressure the big stack.
Wow.
And the river is an ace. We could see some major movement on this hand. Edison checks. Res David. 2 pair. How much value? 2.6 into 3.6. And it should be just a pretty easy call, I think, for Edison.
Huge bet on the river. And Edison is going to be like, I have a bad feeling about this. He does beat the backdoor flush draw, which David actually has 2 pair as well.
Edison does pay it off. Massive pot shipped to Res David. And now we have 2 players at the top of the heap.
Yep. Edison now is a great spot to shove into retry. And retry has to fold.
Res David now taking an opportunity to exert a little pressure over this table, specifically retry. Fausica with a pretty bad hand to defend with.
And Res David taking up the initiative again, raising some hands.
Or like raise David.
Raise David. Fausica with the Queen Jack is going to fold from a small blind, bad position. Everybody playing pretty snug.
Yeah, these two just slowly chipping away at the medium and short stacks of the rest of the table. Huh, no raise from the threes.
Those small pairs get folded a lot in early position. Blind battle, 10-7 against 6-5 offsuit. And Bendelli just decides to limp.
Wow. 7, 8, 9, 10 for Bendelli. A gut shot for Kamikaze.
Big bet, gut shot folds. No gut shots are being called on the flop anymore these days. We noted that already.
That one kind of makes sense because your gut shot is often, sometimes no good when you hit it, but.
Yeah. 10-9 suited gets folded in early position. That's pretty interesting, but given
Boo. Poker Dave. Waking up with aces.
time to 3-bet.
2.8 million. Big 3-bet.
He's out of position. What's Bendelli going to do on the button? Is he gonna see a flop? I think he has to fold. Yeah.
Fold indeed. Poker Dave up to 13 million. Third in chips now.
No action.
Retry with King 5 suited. You've been so patient. Do you really want this to be the one?
Nope. But there's going to be action for sure now. Let's see about the 7-8 suited first. Yeah, it gets opened.
Poker Dave with the ace-4 does get out of the way. What about you, other Dave?
Bring more Daves on. Now the real question is, what is Hattie going to do, seeing that Res David with his big stack probably pressures the opener?
Nice fold.
Yeah, good fold.
Out. Hell yeah.
And is Bendelli still folding patiently? Yes, he is. Or is he getting like, everybody's just 3-betting me? I have to do something. And again.
Yeah, it's about to happen again.
Maybe he just folds pre-flop because he's sick of it anyways. Nope.
Maybe just open shoves.
That would have been an idea for sure. And Res David is going to go at it again.
Oh, can you fold this twice in a row?
This is the mind game that poker is.
Looks like Hattie's in the chat. Welcome.
Hello there.
This happens from time to time. We like it. Happy to have you. I'll try not to mention how terribly you're playing.
Now the thing is, this is the point where in Bendelli's mind, he's getting 3-bet 3 times now. Feels like he's been exposed to better hands.
Res David, what's going on? Would you slip the dealer a $5? What the heck is happening? Ace, king, pocket kings. OMG. Uh-oh, retry.
All right.
Retry with the ace tray.
Buckle up.
Listen, probably going to open this, right? No, folds.
Nope. All right.
And that is the auto shove with the ace called by King Queen. Safe flop. Safe turn. Offsuit king on the river. There goes retry. Out in eighth. Just under 10K for the advertised payout. And just over 3K in bounties. So it's a 13K payday.
Not much you could do there.
Everybody else ladders up now. $14,000.
Addison now trying to pressure Poker Dave.
These are the Daves I know. Wow, Poker Dave.
It works.
Oh, boy. Poker Dave just not just laying it down, just laying down.
That was a tight fold, but I mean, who am I to criticize? I mean, there's a lot of ICM pressure involved.
What a fold. Hey, you have no idea. Hey, could have been a 9 on the flop, guys. Nobody knows.
Or a lot of hearts.
Nobody knows. Poker Dave, King 6.
Also, if Poker Dave won the Sunday Million, I won't argue with Poker Dave. He can do it again.
Poker Dave trying to get a free look at this flopper, discounted look. No thanks, says other Dave. Checks are for the bank. Poker Dave folds. Ace Jack for Edison. First legit hand in a while for the biggest stack. Well, the second biggest stack at the table. Now, Res David has taken that spot over after the multiple monster pre-flop hands in a row. Dr. Ham says, sounds kind of results-oriented to worry about that. Felix, I'm going to ask you a question. When you go to the Hendon mob, right?
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
do they track? What do they track at the Hendon mob?
What do you mean? Like generally?
Yeah, like what is it that the Hendon mob keeps track of?
I haven't followed it. Like live tournament caches, I assume, right?
In other words, they keep track of the results.
Right, just the results, not the
The
profit.
results. So weird that all the time people in poker say, "Oh, you're not supposed to play results," when really the results is all anybody remembers. So think about that.
That's true. There you go, guys.
It's exactly how we base all of our judgments on winning players is based on their results. Thank you for your comment. Edison misses the diamond draw. Didn't have a straight draw, has one now. But it's a pair of aces. That is the best hand.
No bluff.
Hotty, hotty, hotty ho. Up to 12 million now. What the Fuchs say?
So let's see what happens here. Raz David coming in with the open. Gets called by Hattie on the button.
Hattie.
Edison.
That is very optimistic to not feel like you're just going to get pounded by Edison in the small blind, but I guess Edison's had to chill out a little bit. Dr. Harn back in. Better fold the kings. He might have aces. I think that's a valid.
Yes, that's how you play poker. If you know that somebody's got aces, you fold kings.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's a pair of nines for Hattie. And that is a nice pot to steal. Pocket aces
Again.
for 009.
Oh,
High flop.
This is going to get expensive for Fauzika.
This is going to be a huge pot. Any way you slice it.
Wow, check behind from Hattie. Doesn't want to play a big pot on this board. Interesting.
Oh, boy. Gets the bet. Gets the 3/4 pot bet from Fauzika.
9 is not a great
Just
card
calls.
either. Queen 10, Jack 9 improve.
River's a 5. Safe river at least. Fauzika in big trouble.
Let me just see a call. Right. Safely done.
And Hattie now second in chips. 18.7 million. Edison drops to third. And we're starting to get some dangerous stacks over on the left side of the table. Just an open ship from Fauzika into the queens. Not an open chip, excuse me. There was already a raise from Edison. Sorry, guys, missed that. Queens holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a straight for Fauzika. Disgusting run out for Kamikaze. Now down to 2.5 million.
Kamikaze now short.
Joker stars. That was a good one, actually. I'm going to write that down. And blinds are going up. Yikes, Kamikaze. 400K is the big blind. Kamikaze with just 6 of those.
Hattie now has second in chips, opening up his ranges.
Poker Dave with 2 9s. Doesn't really want to be all in, but man, is that a strong hand.
And he does jam, in fact.
Gets
Makes
it
everybody fold. Mm-hmm.
Fauzica. Jack 10. Can't play it.
King 6. Nope.
Getting closer, but no. Whereas David raising the button with 9-8 offsuit. Edison with a hand they can defend with. A hand they can also not defend with.
Interesting because it's the battle of the big stacks now.
The first and third, yeah. And Edison decides to attack what is likely to be a wide button open. I think this is going to end it.
Yep. Good one. Well timed.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Poker Dave. Pocket sevens.
Goes back to open raising. Is Res David gonna 3-bet or call? He just calls. There's ace queen in the small blind.
Yeah, some more dead money out there for Edison.
Yum, yum, yum.
Give me that 800K.
Squeeze it up to
2.8. How much?
I say 3.6. That's probably a little bit too much.
I said 2.8. Probably right in between those two. No.
He's just jamming? No, just calling. Sick. And big blind also.
Getting a free flop, which is 10, 9, 8. So a pair of 8s for Rez outflops the 7s. The 7s are open-ended. 1 diamond for Fauzica. And Edison, with the ace-queen suited, left out in the cold.
Everything turned around now.
Somehow 7-8, the best hand. I think you can just fold ace-queen now, right?
Yeah,
you got to.
Sure. No backdoors.
Poker Dave in a really bad spot. Folds the open-ender.
Wow, disciplined fold.
Really disciplined fold.
That was a very unexpected turn of events.
I think I'm going to start, after watching the Sunday Million the last couple weeks, I think I'm going to just start folding my draws.
Yeah, everybody's folding their draws, right? Bottom open-enders, gut shots.
Like, I just complain all the time about how much money I lose chasing my draws and never hit them. I think I should just start folding them.
Yep. Good point.
Edison outflops Fauzica.
I think I might do a special stream where the theme is going to be fold all draws on the flop. Just fold them.
We're just going to fold all our draws today.
Yeah, and see how far we get.
It's worth the experiment, I guess.
Yeah, who knows? Remember when Annette Obelstad did this thing where she covered all her cards and won the tournament?
I do remember that.
Do the same. I'm going to do the same by just folding all my draws, and then I'm going to tell everybody about the secret strategy. Just fold all the draws. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
This could get bloody.
Fauzica with the overpair. Rez David with top pair. And a gut shot. They both have the same gut shot. Not a lot of ways for Rez David to win this outright. Esoteric Pixie says, surely we get some fireworks here. Yeah, first of all, his name is Felix, not Shirley. Second of all, wouldn't count on anything.
And this is probably going to get another check call or even a check jam. Who knows? I mean, this is a safe turn. Whereas David must think he's still ahead some of the time. He folds. Wow.
Folding top, this is some super tight play we're seeing. And not necessarily incorrect.
Nope.
Chat is quite surprised by that. Kamikaze all in with ace-10. It holds. Fauzica counterfeited.
That fold made me melt. My camera seems to
I
be
know,
melting.
just totally sent Felix into the oblivion.
I can't believe we're folding all of this. To fold all the top pairs as well.
Yeah. Res David on the button with ace-queen, facing this kind of loose open from Fauzica under the gun. And Jack-10 says, all right, I'm in too. Ace of spades. Nut flush draw for Res David. Up and down for Fauzica. Probably going to continue this.
Let's see. No, Dave goes for the check on the flop.
Interesting. Fauzica, you raise 9-8 of clubs and then just don't even continue. Ah, the delayed continuation bet. This is a draw.
Well, I would be surprised if Res David would fold it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Interesting river.
Wow. So ace high will win if the cards go on their backs.
Fauzica makes another bet, and Res David has to consider, can he beat any bluffs like 8-9 or nope, he can't beat the bluff.
Poker Dave, ace king. And gets called by Hattie. Fauzica, queen 10. I can't believe ace 10 folded and was right. Jack 9-8. Fauzica flopped the joint. Poker Dave and Hattie both miss. Can Fauzica get value? With how snug everyone's been playing.
Yeah, tough to get any chips in the middle here. Unless an ace, a king, or a 7 hits.
Fauzica checks again. Poker Dave. Will we see the delayed continuation bet? Nope. 7's probably pretty happy to just check also.
Let's see a river.
River's a deuce. That puts the spades out there. You wouldn't expect anyone to really have spades here. That's a hand that probably would have bet at some point.
Mm.
Finally, Fauzica goes for value.
Snap folds.
2 snap folds. Action folds around the Hattie 009 Jack 10 suited. Hattie playing out of the UK. Best online score. They already won a PKO in 2021.
Wow.
For $25,000. And this is the biggest buy-in that Hattie has ever played. So welcome to the chat, Hattie.
Hello, Harry.
Up and down draw. And good enough.
Takes it down.
Bluff win.
Really interesting how tight Poker Dave has gotten once he's gotten shorter and is being covered by 3 stacks behind him. 4 stacks even. Oh.
This could be trouble for Hattie. Out kicked. No spades.
Love the check though on the flop. I think that's a good check. But Edison checks behind. That is super interesting. They're just delaying everything and controlling the pot. No, I'd expect Edison to just call. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he goes for the raise. Because of the bet size that Hattie just used. It's This bet's so small. Yep, there we go.
Now you got to ask yourself, did I ask for this? Did I ask for this?
Yes, probably. And now, given that every draw bricks, we might see a hero call on the river.
Edison, playing out of Brazil, is a scoop champion, mid-stakes regular. Best scores for 58K and a $215 rebuy. 49K in their scoop in 2019.
So Hattie, what's it gonna be? Hattie calls.
Hottie, hottie, hottie. No. Edison back up on top. 23 million in chips.
They really play their top pairs in an unconventional way. Both of them. Checking flop, checking behind, raising turns against small bets. And it works out very well.
PD says that's about the minimum to lose, I feel. Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Finton Hand, for your raid. What's up? What's
Hey,
up, sleazy with aces, people?
Yeah. It's the easy with aces.
And luckily for Hattie, they did not make a pair in the San Fauzica.
Flop the set.
That's the set. Whereas David limps in the small, Hattie with 9-7. Takes the free flop, and wouldn't you know, the 5 hits. Snap fold from Hattie. Queen 10 for Kamikaze.
And a shovable hand for Hattie in the small blind. I think he's probably going to go for it. Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
He needs to
And
jam.
luckily, Edison cannot call, even with all those chips. And Fauzica gets a walk. Oh boy. Huge pot incoming. Poker Dave.
Oh,
Pocket
yeah.
Kings. Fauzica with the ladies. There's the re-raise. Poker Dave should be able to put the rest in now.
Yeah. He should get called all the time, so no need to trap, I think. Here we go.
King
There's
eye flop. Dead on the turn. Double up, Poker Dave. Fauzica down to 13 million.
Sick one.
Number 4 on the leaderboard. Now Edison's turn to get back involved. Oh, and the price of poker is going up. 500,000 is your big blind.
Res David opening from early position with the king jack off. Fauzica has a spot to 3-bet. And he's going to be successful this time, I believe. Because his 3-bet looks quite strong. And another couple of hands. This looks good. Like action.
Let's see. Been a lot of slap fighting when it hasn't been a major setup.
It'll be interesting to see if Res David is going to shove the 7s or just call them, because he does cover. And it's Oh, wow. 5-6 offsuit decides to 3-bet and gets
Oh my
pocket
goodness.
and sevens to fold. Oh boy.
Holy shnikes.
We know nothing. 5-6 offsuit from the small blind. What a play. Now Dave turns it around. Yeah, I mean, once Edison is out of the equation. Ooh-ha! This could get dicey. No, it won't.
I think everyone's erring on the side of caution. And eventually we'll stop being surprised by it. Although 5-6 wasn't exactly caution, was it?
So I think like for beginning poker players watching this stream, everybody will be surprised to see hands like 5-6 off or Jack-4 suited winning a pot pre-flop and being super aggressive, while pocket sevens, eights, and ace-queen are getting folded like it's garbage. So that's the effect that ICM or the value of the pay jumps has at a final table of a tournament.
And I just want to say, even though Felix is saying these people are garbage, I don't agree with him. Yeah, I'm kidding, guys. Felix is the nicest dude ever.
Well, 5-6 offsuit is a monster hand. You can sometimes just flop the nuts. Now let's see what happens now. Queens against jacks. Queens and jacks.
Come on.
Here we go.
It's all going in. Queen's holding. Queen's holding. Queen's held.
holding.
Double up, Hattie.
Hats off to Hattie.
There you go. Rats off to you.
I mean, yeah, this is just the beauty of poker. No hand is equal. Like everybody is saying, hey, ace queen, I need to call this, or you need to jam this, or sevens and eights, how can you fold? Or jacks, like earlier what we saw. No spot was created equal in poker.
Oh, Falsica. I guess with two shorter stacks, you got no choice, but ooh, what a spot that would have been.
Tough. I think Bendelli is going to fold.
Good point, Nino. Falsica must be so pissed now, getting coolered twice in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give a little sympathy to Falsica.
We get an all in. Ace deuce against queen 10.
And that'll do it for Kamikaze. Yet another victim falling prey to Edison, 82.
$3,000, just like that.
Kamikaze out in seventh for just over 14K. Plus nearly 6,000 in bounties. So that's a 20K payday. Well done. Everybody now guaranteed at least $20,000 just in payouts. Just in tournament payouts, not including bounties. Domination Nation, Falsica hits the 9, though.
He also hits the last 9 in the deck, by the way, because the other 9s are in Poker Dave's and Edison's hands that were folded.
Well, there you go. Falsica, 2 coolers and 1 absolute domination that does go your way.
Now, what is he going to do with the 7s? Jam again? I think you should jam, Falsica. Just jam. Jam it. Do it.
Time to make like the Grateful Dead and jam.
Yeah, talking about the beauty of poker in chat, yeah.
There's David raising ace-5. Let's repeat what we know about Bendelli just in case they're out next. Bendelli was the start-of-day chip leader, so well done making it this far. 61K in total earnings on PokerStars. Does have a first place from 2020 in a bounty builder for about 13K. And also is a satellite winner in this event for 11 doll hairs.
Shoots a rocket.
Getting a little throwables. Little throw happy. Oh, Bendelli. Terrible. Terrible spot.
3 big blinds left. Folds. And Bendelli has a hand now. It's something.
Facing an open already. There's the all-in. Pretty strong chance of a chop here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a chop.
Yeah. Yeah. Chop it up.
And another go at it.
And this time, we see a king is folded and ace high will be calling. Bendelli is going to need a hit. A king or a queen. Oh, what is happening here? Poker Dave isolates, attempts to, three-way all in. Rez David hits the ace and the 10.
Wow.
There goes Bendelli. And Rez David wins the bounty and doubles through Poker Dave, who is now the shortest stack at the table. Got a little weird there with King 9.
I mean, I can understand the rejam from Poker Dave because he's rejamming such a wide range and he doesn't have to fear a lot from Rez David because he needs a real hand. That Rez David actually called with the ace 10 is more interesting, I think. Because, I mean, he must... Wow, that's super.
Might have had the call button already checked.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's Hattie versus Edison. We're down to 5, by the way. We're down to 5. What was the win there for Bendelli? 20,000 plus 5,600, so better than a 25K payday.
Is that a straight?
Everybody
2,
now?
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's a straight. Oh my god, I didn't even see that.
Oh boy, Hattie. No, Hattie, no.
No, don't do it.
No.
And it's a blind battle. He could probably not get away from this. Edison's going to be like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a straight. Let me count again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hattie calls, queen on the turn.
Oh, wow.
Now, I do
Maybe
think if
the
you're Hattie,
safes are
what you're
heavy.
going to be up a lot of, some straights, a lot of 2 pairs. I don't know about, I guess, some semi bluffs. And now you're losing to everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Even 7-8 gets there. You beat the flush draw. He doesn't even put him all in. That's so nasty.
I know, this is really mean.
It's like,
This is really mean.
I could get your bounty, but I don't want to.
You can so easily convince yourself like this is just a
It's a bluff. Yeah.
missed flush draw, yeah. Oh my goodness. So mean. And you can make the call and still be in, right? And still just like hope you can double up.
Hmm. And all our Hattie sees is the flush draw missed. The flush draw missed. His line makes no sense. Unless he flopped us. Okay.
I feel baddie for Hattie. What's up, Milagua? You're a nice person. Thanks for watching. Nice fold. And players are now on break. What a level that was. I didn't even realize we were coming up on a break. I sure hope James Hardigan realized it.
I was fully aware, Joseph. I am always watching that clock and watching the 5 players who remain at the final table of this $215 Sunday Million PKO. And Edison 82 with the big chip lead now, 38.5 million chips as they play down to a winner tonight. And a couple of things I wanted to highlight as we take a 5-minute hiatus from the action. The first is that we're going to continue these Sunday Million streams on Monday nights. And Joe, I know you've now got a couple of weeks off, but I know you're going to be back certainly well in time for the end of March when we have the 15th anniversary of the Sunday Million. And Felix, I'm sure this one is in your calendar. It's going to take place on Sunday, the 21st of March. And to celebrate the 15th anniversary, a $12.5 million guarantee. And again, as a special event, the buy-in bigger than normal, so $215, which for me is the traditional Sunday Million buy-in, right? It used to be a $215, then it came down to $109, but for its anniversary on Sunday, the 21st of March, it's going to be a $215 buy-in, $12.5 million guarantee. And being such a big event, it's going to take place over 3 days. In fact, registration is going to be open till the start of day 2 on the Monday. And that means when it comes to what we do, when it comes to our stream, that will be on the Tuesday night. And I imagine it won't be dissimilar to what we're doing tonight, the final 150, 100 or so players playing down to a winner. But for that one, Joe, because it is such a special event, I think we need to go a bit bigger. I think we need to bring out all the bells and whistles.
Ooh, yeah.
I think we need some leaderboards. I think we need some fun animations. We'll bring back the memes. So yeah, we'll have a big song and dance for this special event.
You're talking about more buttons to press, more things happening on screen. We're talking about a production.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is more than a month away, and we've got plenty to happen before then. Felix, one thing I meant to follow up asking you earlier on, when you were saying you transitioned from cash to tourneys and really started playing a lot of PKOs because that was the first tourney that you really played on stream. I remember when you were very much a cash specialist. Is cash completely off the table now, or do you still dabble?
Mostly off the table, but I've started to put in some sessions. Like recently when we don't bink any scores, so we would bust out early of the tournament, I just hit the cash tables and like try to spin it up a little bit. Yeah, I still play some cash here and there, but mostly tournaments and PKOs these days.
Yeah. And was it easy making those adjustments, or did it take quite a long time to change your mindset, to change your approach to the game, to study?
It's very counterintuitive.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like the mindset of trying to study, like accepting that short stack poker is a form of poker that has valid, that needs valid strategy adjustments. Like as a deep stack cash game player, you always tend to ridicule like short stack poker. You're going to go like, well, it's just going all in anyways. But no all-ins are created equal, and it's very, very tough to actually study those small edges that you can get by shoving. And in PKOs or bounties, it's even more complex than that because of the different bounties and the different stack sizes and the different situations that you're in. So yeah, there's a lot to it, and that's the kind of stuff that took a long time to adjust to as a cash player.
And we established earlier on, Joe, that just as every single bad fold you make in your poker career can be dismissed as ICM considerations, every single bad call or shove in a PKO, you can always justify it because of the bounties.
Yep. Exactly.
Correct, except there's one bounty at this table that's like $500, so maybe not that one, but the rest of them, yes.
Yeah, and of course the biggest bounty belongs to the chip leader, Edison 82, not just the chip daddy, but also the bounty boss, worth $8.5 grand. But of course that bounty not in play for as long as they have that monster chip lead, $38.5 million. Rez David second in chips right now with $24 million. Hattie in third with $10 million. And then the two relative short stacks, Falzica one with $8 million and Poker Dave bringing up the rear with $7.6 million. But do you know what's happened over the course of the day? We've seen a lot of big swings. We've seen short stacks become chip leaders and vice versa. So anything could happen. I'm just wheeling out all the cliches as we enter five-handed play. Joe, I know you're going to take a break, but Felix is going to stick with me as we return to the final table of this week's Sunday Million. 5 playing down to a winner. And of course, ridiculous sums of money, the advertised payouts on screen. And I guess now, Felix, and correct me if I'm wrong, But now laddering becomes more of a consideration. Yes, the bounties are a factor, but the payouts are so big now that you've got to think about moving up the spots, right?
Definitely, most definitely. It's very, very tough now because being the short stack now with a bounty on your head decreases your fold equity and increases the value of the big stack. But again, like staying alive and getting those pay jumps is crucial. So even the short stacks probably need to be a lot more tighter.
Well, this is bad news for Poker Dave, flopping top pair up against the aces of Hattie.
Poker Dave gonna see a turn here. And most likely river. No, he actually just checked gems.
Wow. Gets it in, and Poker Dave's going to need some help. And does not connect on the river. And we get a KO on the first hand back from break. And that is the elimination of a previous Sunday Million champion. Poker Dave gone in 5th place. And that finish worth a total of $37,500. And whoa, hold your horses. We've got another all-in here, but it does not get a call.
River didn't come 7.
No. Falzika opens with ace-king. And talking of sevens, Falzika now with the sticks. Now, is that Hattie asking about a potential chop?
Yep, he is.
How common, how frequent are chops in PKOs, Felix? Because to me, they just don't seem to happen at all.
No, I don't think they make a lot of sense either. Oh, there's an all-in. I don't think they're caring about a chop right now. Ace-8 against pocket sevens.
8 on the turn. Oh. And that is another KO. So 2 quick eliminations as we come back from break. Falzika out in 4th, cashing for a total of $51,714. More chips for Edison. Felix, I know you need to take a quick break, so run, sir. Run. Get back here soon, because I don't know how much longer this is going to go on for. We know that 3-handed play can, of course, last a decent amount of time. But look at the monster lead that Edison has right now and the leveraging that Edison can do with Res David and Hattie. Not that much divides them. And again, Edison pairing their queen on the flop. Hattie with the underpair. Queen's still good here, and Edison near enough a 98% favourite. So yeah, let's talk about the payouts now. The jump from 3rd to 2nd, as someone just observed in chat, it was P. Deegs. I mean, it is phenomenal. You're talking about 58K for 3rd and 100K guaranteed for 2nd. So this is absolutely a time for Edison to wield that monster stack and absolutely put Res David and Hattie in the proverbial hurt locker. Wow, that was much faster than last time, Felix. I'm assuming you didn't have to queue this time.
Toilet line was clear. So, did I miss anything? No. Edison just...
No, and I was just highlighting the fact that it's interesting because Hattie once again asking to look at numbers, and I was just highlighting that Edison's in a great position here, Felix, because you've got that big jump between 3rd and 2nd place prize money. And Edison can look at these 2 stacks and realize that they're relatively even and can absolutely bully the hell out of them.
Yep. He can just relentlessly bet and bluff and barrel them off their hands. Like if I'm in Hattie's shoes, I don't even know what to do now. I'm just going to limp and then Edison is going to raise it, even with the 3 deuce of hearts, I guess. I'm still waiting. Wait for it. There we go. 1.7 million.
While Edison continues to flop well. Pairing their 3. Not much for Hattie to be excited about on this board. And Edison bets just over $1 million. And Hattie folds, blinds up 300,000, 600,000. So Hattie in that position where they're getting close to the 20 big blind mark.
I think Rez is going to jam this. No, he just calls. Wow.
And it is Domination Nation, and ace-10 still the best hand after an 8-6 deuce flop. And Rez has the diamond as a backup, Felix.
Yeah, I was thinking about, first of all, I was thinking if Rez David could jam preflop, but he has huge ICM considerations because there is a huge jump from 3rd to 2nd. And he needs Hattie to bust. So he has to play it safe.
Well, this is now the open-ended straight draw, which doesn't get there on the river. So Edison playing ace-7 high, Rez David playing ace-10 high. Action gets checked by Edison. And checked back by Rez David, who puts some distance between themselves and Hattie. But now, queens for Edison. So a reminder that we've got Rez David from Hungary, Hattie 009 from the United Kingdom, who's in for 2 bullets, and Edison 82, the chip leader, playing from Brazil. King high still ahead.
What's Edison going to do? Just fold, maybe raise? He calls. Interesting.
And it becomes hard with that stack size for Hattie to continue barreling.
Yeah.
Does though, and I salute Hattie for finding it in them to fire another barrel. And if this works, if this pushes, it does. Edison folds.
There we go. What's Rez David going to do with his ace-5 suited in the middle? It's tough to play. But he does go for the 3-bet. Nice one.
I kind of admire the fact that neither Rez David or Hattie is showing any signs of slowing down, Felix. They're not doing that classic, I'm handcuffed by ICM, I just have to sit back.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
King-Queen is the best hand right now. Still the best hand.
Also a good card for Rez David's range, which Edison probably knows. But he makes the best hand on the river with the 10. I assume it's going to go check, check. Yeah, there we go.
Edison still hovering around the 50 million mark. Better than a 2-1 advantage over Rez David. Hattie in 3rd place right now. And I'm guessing, having asked twice and received no response, recognition or acknowledgement from the other 2 players, that Hattie might have thrown in the towel when it comes to the whole deal thing.
I don't think the others have answered them, have they?
That's what I mean. It's kind of like, but I feel that if you ask the first time and no one acknowledges you, it's kind of like maybe they missed it. If you ask a second time and still they don't reply, I think you're kind of getting your answer.
Yeah. Flush draw on the turn for Res David, but also a pair for Hattie.
And the flush does not come in, so Hattie has a lock on this with deuces. But if Res David bets this river, tough to call with just a deuce, right? Wow, all into call.
Yeah, and he also, that's the kind of pressure that you want to put on him. Sick one. Very, very tough to call for Hattie now, considering that this might be the call for a 40, 50K pay jump.
And Hattie folds the best hand and drops below the 20 big blind mark. Tries to see a cheap flop here with 7-4 in the small. Edison with pocket fours in the big. Have some of that.
Any smaller bet would have probably not gotten the job done. Like it had to be the all-in.
King Queen versus Queen 9, another domination situation. Interestingly, Hattie also had a Queen, Queen 7, which would have flopped best, but you know, results. Oh, and Queens for Res David.
Wow. Good hand. Time to 3-bet.
And ace deuce folds. Ace 10 opening, ace 4 for Edison.
Another ace versus ace confrontation.
Once again, it's Res David with the better kicker, and it is an ace high flop, Felix.
Oh, this could cost Edison some chips.
$1.2 million from Res David. The call. Both playing aces and nines. Edison with the 6 kicker, Res David with the 10 kicker.
Decent chances of a chop still, but with Res David having position, this is definitely in his favor. And he keeps firing, because the 9 actually is a good card. I mean, there's more 9x in Edison's range when he calls the flop, but it's also less likely that he actually has one.
Low card on the river, not a chop. The 10 is playing.
But interesting that Res David actually decides to check behind.
Yeah, and that has changed the dynamic of this three-handed play. Edison with not as big an advantage as they once had, but a sizable gap now between Res David in second place and Hattie in third place. Wheel draw here for Hattie. King high, still the best hand. And Edison's betting king high. And now pairs their king on the turn. And no improvement for Hattie on the river.
Hattie could get away with a bluff here. I'm pretty sure that if he just bets... Yeah, there we go. Nice one. I like the bluff. Well, obviously he has just 5 high, so he has to go for it. But it's even more credible with him being the short stack. I mean, Edison must put him on 4-5 or 3-5 exactly to be making that call.
Well, Edison folds the best hand. Hattie moves back up above the 20 big blind mark. Now it's Res David's 7-5 versus Edison's 8-7, and there is an 8 on the flop. Maintaining dominance. Bet and a call, 6 million in the middle. Edison's still good. And Edison bets river 2.2. Res David with busted draw. Not going to try some fancy bluff raise on the river, are they? No, folds.
No, no, no.
Well, it's top pair for Edison. Not much for Res David to be excited about. Gets a fold. Edison slowly but surely working their way back up to 50 million. 46 million at the start of this hand. And now it's Res David versus Hattie. Interesting.
Gutshot versus 2 overcards. Whereas David can just take this down with a small bet. And he does.
Blinds up in 2 minutes' time. As King Queen raises the button. Jack 4 folds the small. 8-6 in the big for Edison.
Another gut shot has been flopped.
But as we've established, Felix, it is not getting there anymore. These draws are just
Yeah. They're just getting folded.
not worth the paper they're not printed on. Res David overs to the board. King High still the best hand right now. 1.2 into 3.
Edison might have an argument for a check raise going on now, given that he has such a huge stack and can put a lot of pressure. But he doesn't. He just folds the gut shot, just like we've seen before.
Wow.
Everybody just folds gut shots.
Okay, Queen 10 versus Jack 10 versus Jack 8. Hattie limps the button. And we get a family pot. And oh, wow. What a board.
Good one.
Yeah, so the straight draw for Res David. Hattie and Edison have both paired their 10s. Edison with kicker problems right now. 1.2 million from David. 1.2 from Hattie. Edison gets out of the way.
Sick. I wouldn't have expected that.
And Hattie now an 84% favourite. $2.7 million a piece.
Ay. Rez makes his straight. The flush gets there. Well, at least that's a card where Hattie can get away from his hand still. And he checks.
Wow. Maybe didn't like
Wow.
the spade, the paired board. Net result,
That's
Hattie has dropped below the 10 big blind mark now, Felix. Res David closes the gap. It's 4s against King 5. Hattie all in. And that king on the river saves Hattie. And Hattie doubles up to 20 bigs.
I'm still amazed by that Jack 8 hand. Rez David bets twice and then checks river when he makes his hand. So we go pocket nines against ace queen.
Yeah.
Edison gonna go for the 3-bet here.
Instead,
And he does.
Edison.
And Hattie puts in the stars nuts.
Okay, let's flip the coin. Nines are holding. No ace, no queen on the river, and Hattie doubles up again, and the stacks have evened out significantly. Res David has the slight chip lead right now, and they are going to discuss a deal. Wow,
All of a
this
sudden
is unconventional. Now, just to be clear, you cannot chop the bounties, right? The bounties are what the bounties are. But you can redistribute the advertised payouts, which is, we can see, 58K for third and then 100K each for second and first. This I've never seen before. I've never seen players open deal conversations in a PKO, and they've done a deal. I've never seen a deal completed in a PKO.
Sick. It's also just been turned around by one coin flip. That's Edison was in such a good position. All right, so they seem to have made their arrangements.
Right. And again, we talk about this whenever deals are done at a final table. We don't know, because it was all done behind the scenes, how they chopped the remaining prize money. There's what? 260K near enough in prize money that they've just all carved up. And we won't know how they chopped it until players are eliminated and we see what they cashed out for in winnings. But clearly, the bounties are still up for grabs. The bounties are still in play, and there's every reason to play this out. Good game, well played, guys. Been a great game, said Hattie. Well played, said Edison. Have fun, says Res David. And we will. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, in fact, just checking the lobby, no money had to be set aside. And a reminder, we're only talking about half the prize pool anyway because of the bounties. So 108, 100.7 and 58. We are talking about 260K. That's all been divided between the final three players. And considering, Felix, they were reasonably even when they chopped, it probably is roughly a third of that each. So roughly 80K per player. That's 85K. Nice.
Also, Hattie really fighting hard for his stand. Looks nice. Edison 3-betting with the queen 8. Getting a little bit frisky here. And Res David just shoves his 5s. Wow.
So still playing for the bounties, having done a deal for the remaining prize money. And Edison, now third in chips. We referenced at the last break how we've seen big swings throughout day 2 of this event. Ace 3 suited for Res David, Ace 10 suited for Hattie, Queen, Queen 7, 1 spade, 1 heart. Domination, rotation, 3 on the turn. Yes, Laser, to answer your question, they have indeed split the remaining prize money, so the payouts you see advertised on screen are not valid anymore. They are only playing for the bounties now. But the bounties are not insignificant.
Check, check. Res David. Chip leading the pack now. And Edison getting a little bit quieter. Not raising as much anymore.
Yeah. I kind of feel for any player who's been in that position where you've got such a stranglehold on it three-handed, and then suddenly you find yourself in third place, and you just feel, and a good poker player doesn't suffer from this, but a lot of people will just feel that momentum's lost, and then you try and make something happen, you try and make something out of nothing, and next thing you know,
exactly.
you're busto.
All about the mindset.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Okay.
Edison makes the best hand.
Edison does
See if he
indeed.
value bets it. You might actually get a call from ace high, queen high, king high. There we go.
1 million, 1/3 pot.
No hero. No hero.
Now ace 4 of spades for Edison, raising the button to 1.4. We're at the 350k, 700k blind level. And the 3-bet from Res David with king 10. Edison calls, and it is a 9-8-3 rainbow flop.
The C-bet will get the job done. And there it comes. Well, maybe Edison isn't done just yet. He has one overcard and a backdoor flush draw.
I was going to say, having the ace and having a spade on board keeps you interested, but now really would love it if Res David checked this, I imagine. 17.7 million in the middle, and Edison has got 17.6 behind. Res David does check.
That's the chance for Edison to take it away. At least the 6 is a card that's good for Edison's range. Maybe some 7-6 suited or 8-7 suited or 9-7 suited.
3 million from Edison, and Res David has a straight draw.
The bet is really small.
And ace high still ahead.
Edison has the perfect chance to bluff now. I mean, he has 7x in his range. Res doesn't have it. And
there we go. I love it. Bluffing with the best hand. And just like that, Edison has reclaimed the top spot. Edison chip leader once again. Button raise from Res David.
For the call.
Flattered by Hattie.
And I was just about to say, what is he thinking about it? Maybe we'll see a squeeze. And I think it's going to work.
Okay, Edison.
Oh no, Res David caught on to it.
I was about to say, Edison's got his mojo back, and then this happens.
Yeah. I was just about to say, well, Edison knows exactly when to turn things around, and now gets caught.
Oh, King 10 of diamonds raises, 10-8 defends, and king high still ahead.
Rez and Edison really playing the rock, paper, scissors game here somehow. It's just amazing to see. One knows that the other thinks that the other thinks. Oh, 10 on the turn.
Okay, so top pair for both players. The king kicker obviously way ahead. And near enough 3.6 million from Rez David. Edison raises the turn.
Wow.
Makes it 8.5 million. Well, he's still going to end up playing for stacks if they're not careful. Well, David calls. That is not a straight. Still top pair for Rez David and still losing to the king kicker of Edison 82. Both players with pot.
Edison could also go for the shove here, trying to make Rez call for his bounty because he has a huge one.
If Edison goes for this, if Edison thinks this hand is strong enough, is there a chance that Rez David might call?
Well, maybe he just sees the bounty, but I think Rez David is too good to realize that this must be a stronger hand. I mean, he doesn't really beat any hands, right? He beats Queen Jack. He beats Queen Jack, Jack 8 gets there, 8-6 gets there. Wow, he does go for the shove.
Shoves the river,
What
and
a spot.
Rez David does just have him covered, and surely that 11k bounty has to factor into your decision making here.
Definitely, definitely. But then again, you know, what do you beat? He is the covered stack. He must know he will get called lighter, a little lighter than usual for the bounties. So would he shove lighter for value? Would he shove as a bluff here? I kind of doubt it. I think Rez is going to fold.
Well, this is one of those situations where you're really grateful that you saved your time bank, but actually Rez David didn't need that much time to think, lets it go, is now pretty much tied with Hattie in second place as Edison opens up that 2-1 chip advantage once again.
Yep.
As he completes with Queen 4. Edison raises for 7-5. Gets the call.
Hattie calls.
Nobody connects with this flop. Hattie with the best hand with Queen High, but the advantage with Edison, who raised pre, and this could be bet fold. And that is a common, mistake. I'll use the word mistake that I make, Felix, in that situation, where if I'm in the blind with a hand like 7-5, which has a little bit of value but isn't that great, and the small blind completes, my immediate reaction is, oh, good. I can see a free flop. And I love the fact that Edison sees as an opportunity to know, let me actually raise this as my opponent limps.
Yeah. I mean, right now they're fighting for the bounties basically after they've made a deal that we don't know about. But going for the bounties, I think it just makes sense to build a huge pot and just pressure everybody for their all-ins.
Yeah.
Because everything now is just the icing on the cake. It's just the extra. So you can basically, if you have a lot of chips, just use them.
And a reminder
Edison.
that the terms of the deal not disclosed to us at this stage. As players are eliminated, we'll see what they actually cashed out for, and that will give us an indication of what the terms of the deal were. When they did the deal, they were relatively even stacked. They divided 260k in prize money, so ballpark it around 85,000 each, roughly. Maybe a couple of players a bit more than that and one slightly less. But they will play it out because the bounties are still big. The bounties are a major factor of a PKO, and Edison has now moved back up over the 50 million mark.
That was an interesting value bet on the river there with third pair. Res David just hero called, and Edison actually bet for thin value with his top pair. Straight and super, super thin. That just goes to show how good these two are and how deep they're thinking, I believe.
Yeah. Ace high flop. Oh, go Hattie.
Hattie going for the check raise here.
Have gut shot. Will raise.
Well.
Oh, wow. Have jack high, which is the best hand. Will re-raise.
Will re-raise. Wow. I was just about to say, gut shots are always going to get folded, but Hattie is the only one who has the guts to play the gut shots.
Wow. Oh, Edison. Edison up to nearly 60 million now. Meanwhile, the blind's up to 400k, 800k. Ace-6 all in from the button, and this is going to get called by Res David. Hattie at risk. Domination Nation.
Ace-6 against Ace-King. Oh, there's the 6.
6 on the flop, and
Hattie
it holds. And Hattie doubles up, and now
Hattie
it's Res David who's
back.
short.
Nice one.
King Jack opens on the button. The virtual all-in from Res David. Wow, Hattie says, come on then, let's dance.
All right, here we go.
Spades.
Oh, flush draw for Hattie.
Spades.
It's a straight, no spades.
Yeah, so this time the dominating hand holds, and it's almost even now between Res David and Hattie. Edison way ahead of the other two with close to 60 million chips. Edison really continuing to apply the pressure. Hattie again with a gut shot. Comes along for one street, but could get pushed off this on the turn if Edison fires again. No, checks it. And 6s are still the best hand. Hattie didn't get there.
Hattie, go for the bluff. No! Hattie is the only one going for the gut shots. And he has the guts to bluff them. You showed before. Yeah, but Edison is going to win with a pair of 6s.
And Edison huge now, 63 million. Hattie calls.
Shove in 3, 2, 1, 0. All in.
That timing was perfect, Felix. Absolutely perfect.
Blib, 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 family pot. No, Res David goes for the shove this time.
Boo, no family pot. Pocket fives for Hattie in the big blind. Res David gets it in with 8-6. Hattie calls.
Oh, against fives.
This is an unconventional flip if ever there were one.
Oh, ha. A lot of outs.
Fives hold somehow.
Sick.
And that's near
Sick.
enough 5 big blinds for Res David. And Hattie hovering around 25 million. Edison around 60 million. Res David super short. Shoved on. Has 5 deuce. Yuck. I really feel for Res David. At least Res David is still smiling.
Yeah.
Courtesy of emojis. Chip and a chair.
Still in good spirits.
I guess
Here we go with Hattie.
that deal looking good right now as Hattie does indeed shove button, and Res David calls with 9-8.
There is an 8.
There is an 8. But the jack on the river, and that is a KO. Res David eliminated in third. Okay, so the money that Res David secured from the deal, Felix, $88,562. So
Wow, nice
significantly more than the advertised third place payout, plus 10K in bounties. So a 98K score for Res David in this Sunday Million PKO.
Clap, clap. Nice score, Res David. Well played.
There are kings on the turn for Edison here as we start heads up play. And another king, just for good measure. Wow, gets a call there on the river. The ace-high hero call, and Edison now up over 70 million. Huge chip advantage. On a scale of 1 to 10, Felix, how do you rank your own heads-up game?
I'd probably give it a 7.
It's always coming 7.
It's always coming 7. Yeah, that's for sure. No, I actually have been playing quite a bit of these heads-up total KOs recently, and
Right.
I've realized that they're pretty good. They're very good training for heads-ups at final tables. Unfortunately, I haven't made any final tables recently in PKOs, so I need to postpone the practice.
Yeah.
And stick to the training. But yeah, I like heads up. It's a lot of like feel for the momentum, feel for the opponent, feel for the timing and the sizing.
Yeah.
Less about the cards. So that's what I really like about it.
So those of you interested in the deal numbers, if you remember what the stacks were when they agreed to an ICM chop, Res David and Edison were almost even. So I think we can safely assume that if Res David secured 88.5K in the deal, that Edison gets the same, around $88,500. Hattie had slightly less, so probably will have locked up between 83, 84K. And now, of course, they are playing for bounties. And that will really determine a significant difference in prize money between the winner and the runner-up.
Edison hits top pair. Hattie hits nothing at all. Henry raising the ace-5. Now, is there room to 3-bet for... I was just about to say, is there room to 3-bet for Edison?
Yeah, thank you to those of you who've actually added up third, second, and first and worked out that if it's 88.5 for Edison and Res David, then Hattie's end is 83. Pretty much on the nose, 83,000. Where's the human calculator when you need him?
Jack high against 9 high. Is there something like an English saying that we have in German, Not gegen Elend? Like a worse hand against an even worse hand? Is there a saying like this?
So something bad against something worse?
Yeah, exactly. Not gegen Elend is what it is.
There must be something like that. Keep an eye on the chat, Felix. I'm sure someone will help you out with a saying that is at least in the right ballpark.
The lesser of two evils.
Doesn't really feel like the lesser of two evils is appropriate here. You're talking about something that's bad and something that's even worse.
Yeah.
Actually, why did I say keep an eye on the chat? Why did I think for 1 second that you'd actually get a useful answer to your question?
We asked for it. We basically asked for it.
God.
The better of two trashes.
I know. It's like I've done this for long enough to know better, right?
Yeah, but I like it. Top pair for Hattie. Bottom pair for Edison. Need against misery. Yeah, something like that. That's the German literal translation. I don't think Hattie's going to get paid on this one. Nope.
Well, still near enough a 2-1 advantage for Edison right now. 60 million playing 30 million. King, Jack, 10 on the flop. This is all Hattie.
Hattie flops an open-ended straight draw and gets the 4 high default.
Pair of 8s here for Hattie.
Hattie making a nice comeback here, flopping hands. Edison trying to take a stab and stabs into a made hand that is most likely not going to fold, regardless of what comes. See if Edison is willing to bluff off more chips. Yes, he is. Hattie just calls down. Perfect river card, because that makes it even less likely that Hattie is beat. Now the only hand that beats him is a jack, basically, or a better 8, and most of these would have probably raised. So nice pot to Hattie.
Hattie now with pocket 8s on the button, raises. King 7 suited for Edison. Goes to the flop. Oh, hello.
Wow. Hello there. All diamonds.
I hope Hattie doesn't think having the 8 of diamonds puts him in a good position here.
It's going to be interesting to see if Edison just calls or check raises. Given stack depth, you might want to go for the check raise, but then again, it just looks so strong. Wow, this is going to get interesting. Hattie picks up an open-ended straight draw along with his 8 high flush draw and probably thinks he's still good or has a chance of making Edison fold. He might get a 9 to fold with that bet. He might sometimes even... I don't think he gets a queen to fold, but maybe a 9. What a tricky sizing.
Wow, gets called. Well, the irony is kings and sevens are beating a pair of eights at this stage, but it's the flopped flush.
And Edison is most likely... I think he's going to go for it. The king actually might have saved Hattie now. No, he's just making these tiny bets. He's not shoving. Wow. Sick pot.
The sickness. The horror.
Yeah.
Pair of sixes for Hattie. And now two pair on the turn. Edison with 8 high. Bluff the flop. Shuts down on the turn. Hattie overbets the pot on the river.
Nothing to do here with 8 high. Oh, how wrong am I?
Ooh, and we hit the 450k, 900k blind level as Hattie narrows the gap between them.
6 surprises from Edison here. Trying to play the 8 high like a boss.
So 10-7 completes, ace-9 raises. And again with the gut shot for Hattie. Ace high still the best hand.
Double gutter for Hattie. Goes for the check raise. So what's Edison going to do? Is he still going to stick around with his ace high, believing that he might be ahead of the draws? He blocks a couple of draws with the 9 of diamonds, which is unfortunate. 9-7. He blocks diamonds. He blocks 9-10. Actually has one of the worst or very bad bluff catchers, I would believe, with that 9 of diamonds in the hand.
Does make the call. Jack on the turn. Hattie now still looking for the 9. Does not hit.
Ace high still best.
It is indeed. Edison checks. Now what does Hattie do? Shoves river, Felix.
Wow, Hattie shoves the river. Oh my god.
Well,
this could be it if Edison pulls off the hero call.
I said earlier on, we've seen some hero calls gone wrong today. This would be an amazing hero call if Edison can get the chips in with ace high, call, eliminate Hattie 009, and win this Sunday Million PKO.
He has
4
that 9 of
seconds.
diamonds
3,
blocker.
2, 1.
1.
Out of time. Makes the call with 0 on the clock and does it.
Holy shit.
Knocks out Hattie 009, and we have our winner. Wow.
What a way to win a tournament like that. Hero calling with ace high. I mean, how must that feel?
Absolutely, a great hero call and a great result. Now, by virtue of the deal they did earlier on, Hattie locked up 83k plus 10k in bounties. That's $93,000. But wait till I tell you how Edison 82 performed. Let's bring Joe Stapleton back for the final results. So just to clarify, guys, when they did the deal three-handed, it was $88,500 for Edison and Res David, 83k for Hattie. So here's Edison's payday, $88,300 for the deal agreed first place, plus $55,773 in bounties for a payday of $144k, plus a Sunday Million win. That's pretty impressive.
That's incredibly impressive. That's insane.
Not just insane, but also to do it in that style, Felix, to basically call it off there with ace high and be right.
Yeah, and especially having that hand with a 9 of diamonds, I'm still impressed by him making that call. He must have felt or sensed something, or like a tell or whatever, or some sort of read. But that was just an amazing call. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was another fun one, guys. Another 6-hour Sunday Million Day 2. Felix, thank you very much. It's been awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for helping us out this evening.
It's been a blast. Thank you for having me. It really motivates me to make the final table of that anniversary millie next time. So
Absolutely.
You can criticize my game.
Well, I'm glad
tear
you
it apart.
enjoyed yourself. And Joe, a short break. We are going to see you back on stream, back on the podcast, back with Sunday Million and Retro very, very soon.
Yes, please. Really looking forward to being back in full capacity.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching this evening. Apologies for the technical issues. Hopefully, we've ironed out some of the bugs this evening. We will see you next week. But for now, from Felix Schneider's, Joe Stapleton, and me, James Hartigan, it is good night from the PokerStars Arena.